ignore that first loss. Let's just say the Hog Rider's a bad matchup, and his 3 card cycle destroyed me. I couldn't outcycle him, and so he was just able to log every single one of my Goblin Barrels. He was always able to play a card to counter me. But we're on to the first match. We're up against, I can't read that name right now. The it's too small on my screen. We're playing Lava Hound here, and usually when I see Lava Hound, I immediately just say I'm cooked. Like when I see them set up with Lava Hound in the back, I immediately just want to give up. However, my saving grace for this one, and what made me think I might be able to win this, is he used his arrows on defense, which most Lava Hound players don't do. Most Lava Hound players ignore everything and then just do a 3 crown push. But this guy, he must be new to Lava Hound. This must be a boosted deck for him, because he wasn't. He was arrowsing everything I played, and he didn't have any arrows on offense, which means I could just set up with cheap defenses like Dark Goblin, Princess, and he didn't have arrows in cycle for it. That's a big thing about Logbait, is countering their cycle. That's kind of a bad Dark Goblin. I think maybe a different card would have been better, but I don't know if I had Goblin Gang in hand at the time. I wasn't paying attention. So I don't know, maybe it's the best I could do. Again, he went for a Lava Hound there, but then he arrows again, which means, again, he's not going to have any arrows on offense, and he even answers that Goblin Barrel, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, with that Valkyrie. And that Valkyrie isn't going to do shit for him in this push. Maybe if he had it tanking for something, but it's not. I don't even have Gobble Gang and Cycle. It's not going to do anything. I did a bridge block with that Valkyrie. I don't really know why I did that. That was just a sacrifice of 3 elixir for that knight. I could use that knight to sack for Lava Pups. But I'm going to have the Evo Dark Goblin. So the Lava Pups just can get swallowed. I don't even know if the Ice Spirit was necessary. He plays Skeleton Dragons, but again, I don't think they're a necessary card. They're just going to get swallowed up by my Dark Goblin. I go for Princess at the bridge. He doesn't catch it, obviously. He goes for the Inferno Tower, so or Inferno Dragon, sorry, so I just go for the gang in the middle. I could have probably played it all in one lane. Would have been a little bit more pressure, but it's fine. I take his tower. I don't take his tower here with this. He goes for another Lava Hound, and basically, if this doesn't break through, he's losing the game. And honestly, even if he does break through, it's so close to taking his tower, it wouldn't even really matter. But he doesn't break through, because again, he doesn't have arrows in cycle to kill all my defensive units, so I just kind of shred everything. And the second I see that lightning, I immediately know he has like no elixir at all, because he played those Skelly Drags right before it, so I know he has no elixir. So I go for the Goblin. I go for the Goblin Barrel to get rid of his arrows, and then I go for the Goblin Gang as well, so that he can't defend both, and it takes his tower. I go for the Knight, and then I go for all the BM plays. I go for the Cannon in the middle, I go for the Log in the back, I go for the Goblin Barrel behind my King Tower. All the things you see from a Log Bait player that's BMing. I was really proud of myself for this win, because I think it's the first time I've ever won against Lava Hound using this deck. Maybe the first time I've ever won against Lava Hound full stop. But I don't even know if I'd count this a Lava Hound win, because this guy had no idea what he was doing. Up in the next game against Snakewood, I can read that name. I go for the Ice Spirit. Yeah. I don't like wasting my Goblin Gang necessarily, unless I know what he's playing. Immediately I see that bowler, and then he plays a Giant in front of it, and so I immediately know he's playing Giant Graveyard, that Jinxie deck. So I know roughly what cards he has. I don't have his deck memorized bar for bar. That was bad placements by me. The second I saw his 8-year badge on his profile, and the deck he was running, which has arrows and snowball, which is a bad matchup for me, I knew I was going to lose. And honestly, that was an unnecessary snowball. He was overly aggressive, and yet he still just gets away with it, because I had to spend so much elixir defending his shit. I think I just go for Log on that. Yep. At this point, I don't really know what to do, right? I could pressure him to try and stop him from going for a big push, but I'm kind of low on elixir, so I don't know if that's a good play. I don't know if I'd have enough elixir to defend. So I see him go for the bowler in the back, so that means I can freely spam the other lane, because he's not going to have a good answer to it. His only answer to that Goblin Gang was minions, and even then I still don't get much damage at all, because usually the Spirit Goblins are the biggest threat when you go for a Goblin Gang at the bridge. I was about to go for a cannon there, because I was expecting him to pressure with the Giant as well, but he didn't. In hindsight, I should have played that Dark Goblin like a tile over, so it was behind the King Tower. That would have made it so in order for him to arrows, he would have had to he would have had to activate my king tower as well, which would have been really good for defending his graveyards. But yeah, again, unnecessary snowball, but it doesn't even matter. He has everything in that cycle. You can see me kind of getting heated up in the corner. By the way, I did have my mic off for this recording intentionally, so I could lock it and win some games. The reason why my webcam on was so you can just see my reaction at the time. But yeah, I go for a bridge block right there, but unfortunately that kills my Dark Goblin. I don't even know why I played my Dark Goblin. I should have just waited to play it on offense with play it on defense with his graveyard. But yeah, I'm really bad at countering Bowler. This matchup and Lava Hound I'm really bad at. It's not necessarily that these decks are broken, although this deck is a little broken. It's better now that a lot of its cards have gotten nerfs. Witch has gotten nerfed, or Evolved Witch has gotten nerfed. But that's like that's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing that's gotten nerfed. That was a waste of a fucking arrows. I literally had a Goblin getting down on the board, killing his graveyard, and he wastes his arrows as well, and he still takes like no damage. He takes a little bit of damage the other lane with that Dark Goblin, but like I actually get in the lead. But he's still just able to go for a big push, and then he takes my tower here. Sorry to spoil it, but yeah, he does take my tower here. It's really annoying. I had to answer that witch separately, because if I just tried to defend it with all my other defensive cards, I would have lost. And those skeletons take my tower, and then as you can see, I get really pissed. I was yipping and yapping here about him wasting all of his spells, and he was still able to defend all my shit. It didn't make any sense to me. Yeah, I was pissed off. We're up against Skibidi Ezio, so if I lost here, I would have no honor. I believe... I don't know if it was this guy. I wasn't paying attention. No, it wasn't this guy. He's playing Bridge Bam. Not the best matchup in the world, not the worst matchup in the world. It's pretty mid. I'm just not very good at it yet. I don't know if there's a matchup that I'm that good at yet. As you can see, I'm kind of tilted up in the corner. Yeah. I don't know if there's a matchup that I'm that good at. I'm pretty good at... I don't even know. That I was just making a bunch of bad plays here. That Golden Knight pissed me off. He always does shit like that. I was hoping he didn't have a big spell, but he does have... Never mind, I lied. He doesn't have a big spell, or he doesn't have a small spell to counter my Goblin Barrel efficiently. I believe all he has is Zap. There's a different guy I played with Bridge Fam this video who had arrows, but that wasn't this guy. So yeah, I was kind of making some dog shit plays. I should have played a knight there instead of a cannon there, and I lost my tower because of it. But then I realized here that I'm tilting for no reason. That last matchup, I played well last time. There's no reason for me to be tilting right now. There's no reason for me to be that mad. So I lock in, and I don't even know why I stood up right there. I was just pissed for some reason. Usually, it's impossible for me to come back with this deck, because at the end of the day, Lockbait is a chip deck, but there's still a minute and 20 seconds on the timer, so there's still a good chance I can come back and win. I don't know why I'm going for this lane. I need every little bit of damage I can get. I don't want him counter pushing, so I don't know why the fuck I'm going in this lane. Royal Ghost, dude, if Royal Ghost wasn't in this deck, it would be a clean and dry hard counter. But Royal Ghost is just so bad. A combination of Royal Ghost and Mother Witch makes this a really bad matchup. Well, it's not that bad, but Royal Ghost definitely screws me over, because the only good counter I have towards it is Knight. He just dumped 7 Elixir in the pocket right there, so I knew I was probably going to be able to take his tower right here, because I just witnessed him dump 7 Elixir, a lot of his counters as well. But yeah, I wasn't even confident though, because people have gotten away with way worse against me. So yeah, I'm just spamming him right now because I know he's scrounging for Elixir at this current moment, because he dumped 7 Elixir and he just keeps on over defending everything. So that's why I'm just dropping so much shit at the bridge. I need to take one of those towers within the next 10 seconds, and I do that with the Evolved Dark Goblin, because he doesn't have anything to defend it with. But now, because of my relentless pushing to try and take his towers, I'm now low on Elixir, so I have to play really well defensively, and I basically have no room to go offensively. Lucky for me, those those cards in my tower won't do too much damage, and so I'm able to ignore a lot of them and still have a pretty healthy tower. And as you may notice, I am in the lead right now. I don't know why I'm still standing up. I don't know why I'm still heated. It's going good for me. I think I just stand up when I'm locked in. I've always done that when I play games in the living room and stuff. I'll stand up out of the armchair and play. I was really scared about that battle ram, which it doesn't connect. I just barely get my battle ram down in time. I almost go for the Goblin Gang. Sometimes I'm glad I have double elixir because I feel like I'd overcommit if I had a bunch of elixir. And as you can see, we are chipping down his tower pretty consistently and reliably while he is not doing too much damage. He keeps spamming shit in the pocket, but lucky for me, I already have a lot of things down. I see the P.E.K.K.A. and my first instinct is to panic and try and play as much shit on top of it. I was tempted to do a defensive Goblin Barrel, but I decided there's no need. I just set up with a Dark Goblin, and yeah, we go pretty well. That Evo Battle Ram did get a connection, but it's fine, and we don't take his tower quite yet. Never mind, we do take his tower because the princess was locked on. I don't remember that. Yeah, as you can see, I was really happy about that, and I decided to exit to claim my rewards. So yeah, I wasn't in the mood to play Clash Royale yesterday. Well, I did play a game, but I was so tired. I was making a bunch of bad plays and shit, so I was gonna do like a ranking, but that video was boring as hell. So I didn't even feel like editing it. It was so boring. So I decided I'm not gonna make a Clash Royale video. I don't know if I made one the day before either. I don't think I did. Excuse me. But yeah, today, to get in the mood to play some Clash Royale, I watched the Ian77 video and then I watched a Riley video. Watching them play, it like makes me come into the next game like sophisticated, dude. I see his bomber and I see his Mega Minion, and I immediately think either Golem Beatdown or some variant of P.E.K.K.A. Goblin Giant. I am praying it is Golem Beatdown. I'm absolutely praying it is Golem Beatdown. I just gotta take a chill pill here because I don't even know what to play. I see the Giant and I realize it's neither. It's actually Giant Beatdown, which I think is an even better matchup because I have a lot of things that can just tear through that meat shield and just destroy all the support units. So yeah, it's actually Giant Double Prince. It's not just regular Giant Beatdown, it's Giant Double Prince, which, you know, kudos to this guy. It's not a very popular deck right now. So kudos for playing a deck that nobody's playing. I am able to go for a pretty good defense right here. I just go for the Knight, and the Knight kites back that Mega Minion, so it's able just to die to my Archer Tower. Probably could have done a cleaner defense. Wasn't the best defense in the world, but it was, you know, credit where credit's due. I think I did a pretty good job. Yeah, kind of a quiet part of the game. I decided to go for the Princess, I believe. At 10 elixir, I went for the Princess, just so that way he has to spend something to defend that, and he can't go all in one lane with the Giants. And actually, I do such a good job of spreading him thin right now that the only thing he's able to muster up is a Giant. I don't know how that Prince went for my Goblin Gang. That Evo Bomber kind of wrecks everything I know and love, and it just destroys all my defensive troops. And that brings the guy pretty firmly back in the lead. But you know what? I was fine, okay? I was perfectly good with this. I still knew it wasn't the best matchup for him. I still knew there was a very high chance of me coming back. And as you can see, I DPS him down pretty damn well. He's only at 500 health right now, 200 health right now. And all it takes is 2 more stabs, 3 more stabs from my Goblin Barrel, and I win the game, right? So, right now, I need to play the best defense of my life. That was supposed to be a Goblin Barrel, not a Knight. I kind of wish I didn't do that, but so then I'd have meat shield on defense. But it's fine. That Mega Minion I could just leave alone. I do leak a little bit. Basically, I'm thinking to myself, if I defend this, it's good for me. So I'm trying my best to defend this, and then I realize he's spending a lot of elixir, and he's not going to have enough elixir to counter this, and so I take his tower, and that Giant moves too slow to reach my tower. I knew it was over for him. I take his tower. Closest game we've had yet, I think. I'm pretty sure it was the closest game we've had. But yeah, I don't know why I keep popping out of the game. I should probably just press play again. Um, but it was at this point I was super duper excited. Oh, my monitor just fell asleep from me yipping and yapping for so long. I was super duper excited. I thought I was one game away. You can even see I went. Forget everything I was about to say. I was not one game away. I knew I was. I thought I was 2 games away, or 1 game away. Yeah, I thought I was 2 games away. So yeah, that guy Queen PP. If I lost this guy, I was gonna be really mad. But his goofy name and his 1-year play badge made me think that this was an alt account and not someone who's been playing the game for 1 year. So I was still not confident. I wasn't gonna let that 1-year badge determine how well I play against this guy. He has a level 6 skeleton army. I could have maybe Ice Spirit, but I feel like Ice Spirit is just such a good card to have in hand at all times. I don't want to use it. I decided not to let that wizard get any damage because, again, I don't know this guy's skill cap yet, so he could be really good at the game. He could be really bad. E-Barbs, I kind of over-defend these a little bit. Never mind, I don't. I thought I used my cannon here, but I guess I didn't. But yeah, I just go for the knight and the Dark Goblin, and that's an equal elixir trade, so that's not that bad for him. Then he goes for the Rage, and then all I have to do is an Ice Spirit, which made that push a -1 elixir trade for me. So I decided to go in. He goes to the Valkyrie there. Not the best placement for the Valkyrie. The best placement for the Valkyrie is the outside back, the outside back corner of it, because it hits the 2 goblins, because the tower will target the inside upper goblin first, so going for it in the outside back. That was an unnecessary Ice Spirit. It just gets swallowed up. But yeah, going for it on the outside back, the outside back corner, it'll hit 2 of the goblins, and then the one that's left is the one that the tower will go for. So I had to go for the Princess on the Skeleton Army. He goes for the Evo Wizard. Evo Wizard it's kind of annoying sometimes for me, in my opinion. For this specific deck, basically any other deck, it does fucking nothing and dies. For this specific deck, it's bad. I don't know how this guy got so high in trophies. Maybe just having 9,000 trophies no longer has the prestige it once had. But I was expecting, like, I don't know, I was expecting harder opponents here. He whips out a Minion Horde at this point in the game, and I wasn't counting how many cards he's played yet. So I was pretty sure he's played his whole deck at this point, but I wasn't entirely sure. But the more and more he plays the same cards over and over again, the more and more confident I am that he's played his entire deck. And actually, let me check if this was his entire deck, if there's a card he didn't use. But yeah, so this deck, this was not that bad of a game actually. Like I was expecting a harder matchup, but he didn't even have a win condition under his belt. He didn't even have a fucking win condition. I was shocked. Yeah, he's played all the cards that he had in his deck. He's played so far. I wasn't counting, but I just confirmed. I just went to the battle log and confirmed it. He didn't even have a win condition in this deck. So like I said, I don't even know how he got so high. I didn't think I was gonna get a shot, but it did. So that's kind of annoying. Here's the E-Barbs in the back, which I don't agree with. I was holding on to my Evo Goblin Barrel for a while. I probably should have been throwing more Goblin Barrels, but I was trying to go for split lane pressure, and then all of a sudden I realized I've done so much damage in one lane. Me going for the split lane isn't even gonna matter. He's just gonna ignore. Like if I do Ice Spirit on the fake lane, I accidentally let that get 2 shots to my tower. That's annoying and it makes the game way closer than it should be. If I did like Ice Spirit Goblin, I did Ice Spirit on the decoy lane, it would have been, you would have just ignored it. And then if I did Knight on the decoy lane, that would have been an overcommitment. Yeah, we won the game safely, and at this point I thought I was 1 win away. I don't know why I did. I think it was because the progress bar was so close. Yeah, I was kind of confused on why it was like that. But anyways, claim this chest. I didn't really care about this, but I also don't feel like editing, so you get to see it. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Yeah, I got a lot of elite wildcards from that actually. I go to my clan and I tell them wish me luck for my last game. This wasn't even my last game. I was still 2 games away, but yeah. Sorry. I don't. This is not good content to watch, but I don't know why I'm clicking on all these things. I literally was recording this knowing what my plan was with editing, doing a voiceover, and not editing it at all. But for some reason, I still did all this, and I'm not sure why. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I just realized looking back at this recording, I have 20,000 points, so I can get my rocket to star level 3, which means there'll be a little goblin flying on it, which is cool. Go for Princess first play. I'm trying to get a feel of what he's playing. He plays bats on it, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. I don't know how that got a shot. Usually they don't get a shot when they play it into my Princess Tower, but it was weird. He goes for a golem. I was tempted to throw a goblin barrel, but I knew he's probably just going to ignore it and then screw me over. So my only choice here was to play cannon right into his poison. I mean, maybe I could have played it higher. Actually, I probably should have played it higher. But that point, the poison just kind of wrecks me, and it's a card I'm not really used to playing against. I kind of overdefend this golem a little bit, maybe. I'm actually not entirely sure. I don't know much about this game, actually, now that I think about it. I know he has to be at least a little bit low on elixir, so I decided to toss a goblin barrel. And he has a Mega Knight, which makes you a little bit concerned, but I do have a lot of tank killers. So as long as you can whip out like 4 small spells, I would be fine. He goes for his Mother Witch in front of his Mega Knight, which was a terrible play. Go for an Ice Spirit here to continue kiting that Mega Knight, and the Mega Knight just barely passes away before it kills my princess, forcing out the poison, and the poison doesn't even do anything. The princess still has 1 health, which is enough for her to be absolutely devastational on offense, and the Dark Goblin was as good as dead already because the Firecracker was gonna kill it. I go for Princess in the back here. Unlike most Logbait players, I know the Princess's capabilities on defense just as well as their capabilities on offense. So putting Princess in the back is a play I actually do sometimes, unlike a lot of low skill Logbait players. I'm not saying I'm a high skill Logbait player, but I know when it's good to play it on offense compared to defense. I just want 1 more shot out of that thing. Never mind. I thought it would chip down the Firecracker, but it doesn't. I set up with another princess, and then I realized I actually just gave him a shit ton of poison value. But it doesn't even matter because the poison of the Dark Goblin already, it was just already enough. I think at this point in the game he knows that if he goes for any form of golem, he's gonna get cooked with the punishment. So he's not even in a position to go for one, especially now that his tower is at 500 health. I know I can pretty safely defend without needing to worry about him going for a golem later on. Honestly, I don't even know why he played golem at the beginning of the game. But yeah, pretty easy defense. I go for the goblin barrel, and I get a shot, and then the princess takes it off. So at this point I thought I just made it 10,000 trophies, but I didn't. I still have 8 trophies left to go, which kind of sucks. I hope I don't lose at all doing that, but it's all good. It's all fine, you know. It's all good. 8 trophies, how hard can it be? As you can see, I'm crossing my fingers for a good matchup here. I'm up against Tony Smiley Face. He is not anywhere near as close to getting to the... He's still 1 game away, but he has a lot less trophies than me. So I hope he wouldn't be too bad. And it's fucking Bridge Spam with that shit-ass card I don't like seeing. I set up with a cannon. And then I thought that was gonna go for the cannon, which is why I was about to knight the Royal Ghost, but in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't go for the knight on the Royal Ghost. And that card pisses me off so bad. That's the worst card to see someone have in Logbait. Now, I throw a Goblin Barrel here because I was hoping that he didn't... The only spell he had was Fireball and, like, a Zap, maybe. But this is the guy I was talking about that had arrows. So we have, in my opinion, we have a worthy foe for we have a worthy foe for my final opponent. And yeah, so we take a little bit of damage, but overall pretty good defense. I just barely get enough elixir to prevent that from going on in my tower. And he just plays a World Ghost. And at this point, I know Magic Archer's either back in hand or it's his next card. So I make sure not to play anything in a position where that can happen. And I believe he plays his Magic Archer to defend this, which I would always rather Magic Archer being played on defense than it being absolutely devastational on offense, where it's just like pierces through all my defensive cards and go straight for my tower. As you can see in the upper right corner, I'm pretty damn stressed about this. I let the Magic Archer get one shot in favor of not overcommitting elixir. I go for the Ice Spirit Goblin Barrel because I think he uses arrows. I don't remember when he uses arrows, but I know he had used it, and I knew that his only option to defend it would have been that what's it called? Electro Wizard is 11:30 at night right now. Starting to get tired. But yeah, I knew that Ice Golem would tank for it. He plays his P.E.K.K.A for the first time this game, which honestly, P.E.K.K.A is a useless card when you're going up against Logbait. Honestly, I recommend if you're playing against Logbait with a P.E.K.K.A deck, just unless P.E.K.K.A is crucial. If you're playing against P.E.K.K.A, that Dark Goblin puts that Magic Archer in log range, which I'm very thankful for. If you're playing P.E.K.K.A Bridge Spam, he goes to the bridge block right there, by the way, which is well played. If you're playing P.E.K.K.A Bridge Spam, I just don't recommend going for your P.E.K.K.As at all, really. Maybe once or twice in like double, triple elixir, but overall, it's not a worthy card to play. It's not going to get much value at all. I think I knew that his Magic Archer was back in cycle, and that's why I wasn't playing anything in a position where I could get damage, but I wasn't entirely sure. I go for the Dark Goblin there. I could have played it way higher, and it would have taken out more cards faster, and it probably would have saved its life, actually, instead of being killed by that card, but it's fine. It is what it is. I think that was meant to be a knight, I think, but I was kind of panicky because that Magic Archer just basically gave him the game back. And as you can see, I'm panicking against this Magic Archer. I do that log to knock it back a little bit so that its arrows are out of the range of my tower. I go for the Goblin Ganks around, but it doesn't work out too well, and it just kills most of my goblins in one swing. He actually misses his fireball on that Goblin Barrel, and that's going to do it. That's going to put us at the grand, the awesome, the fantastic 10,000 trophies. It's so weird that there's a next button for that, and then it just ends and there's not another screen. Claim a 3-star, get 580 late wildcards, and I let my clan know that I'm at 10,000 trophies. And I spam some emotes, happily ever after. See you guys in the next video, which you guys will be tuning into, because it's enforced by law, penalty of death. So yeah, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it and you don't get the death sentence. Alright, bye-bye.